Ooh, I did hear Little Birdie though. Maybe Nancy Fraley isn't retired.
Well,
I thought
did
she
she
was
say
still
she
going
was
to
going to
consult and
retire?
stuff.
Like she does. She's still doing consulting.
She
I
was going to
thought
retire from all of that.
no, I thought it was just that she was stepping away from Magnus,
Yeah, that's what I heard.
but she was still
Retirement
going
from
to
Magnus,
consult
okay.
and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
No, it sounds like she's up in Wyoming whiskey. I'm just going to stay there. So,
That'd be interesting. A podcast about bourbon and the ones who drink it. This is Bourbon Matters. Welcome to Bourbon Matters. I'm Jake.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Gold Eagle Jake.
And we've got some Uncle Nearest drama updates.
Drama.
There's a lot of drama.
When
No, it's pretty
SEC's
serious.
involved,
Yeah, it sounds like
usually
they're
it's
toast.
pretty serious drama.
I mean, we said they were toast before. Now they're like burnt to a crisp toast.
Yeah. And then we'll see how long this takes our discussion. But one of the other things that we kind of realize is we've talked for now multiple seasons about all our different preferences in tasting and smelling whiskey, but we've never done a cohesive discussion about what each of us kind of prefer in nose, palate, and finish. So if we've got some time, we'll dive into that as well. But let's go ahead and get into the Uncle Nearest situation.
The owners
do you want
are out.
me to start, or do you want me
The
to start?
owners are officially gone
Yeah.
from the company.
Philip Young is the
Court-appointed receiver.
court-appointed receiver. Thank you.
Killing it, Smalls. You're killing it.
And basically, I'm paraphrasing here and speculating slightly, that the Weavers just wouldn't let him do his job, it sounds like, and kept telling people at the company to do other things. So he just fired them. So I guess he is solely in charge now.
Which-
and I think his
that's-
comment
that's
was
what
that
it-
all of the confusion has gone away
Yeah.
about who is running the company. So
when a judge appoints a conservator, yeah, that's the person that's now in control. But it sounds like some at the actual facility and then a lot in public, they continued to act like they were the ones running and making decisions, even though at this point they had been completely neutered by a federal judge.
yeah. So also, I think it was in the same statement, said that basically there are two ongoing investigations from the SEC into fraud, or at least. So I'm looking at a New York Times article.
Dan, did you research this?
Yes, I did, but we'll just let Jake just kill it.
No, it says there's two
Well-
federal agencies looking into charges, but it only specifies the SEC
As one of them.
as one of them. I don't know,
Yes.
so we don't know who the other agency is.
Correct.
Presumably the FBI, but I don't know. So anyway, this article from the New York Times is from yesterday, titled "The Latest in the Uncle Nearest Whiskey Saga: Federal Fraud Investigations." So it sounds like the SEC part of or investigation has to do with Fawn Weaver taking a $20 million loan from Marcy Penn, which is a venture capital firm part owned by Jay-Z. It sounds like instead of taking that money and putting it into the Uncle Nearest corporate account, she put it into a separate account and seemingly tried to hide it from their creditors, which constitutes fraud. So that's an ongoing investigation. The judge has like slammed her repeatedly for kind of not being forthcoming about details of how she ran the company. So this just seems to be another instance of that.
Yeah, so I mean, this goes back to last August is when the judge put the receiver in place, and he's basically tasked with trying to sell everything, get the debts paid off, and go forward from there. So,
Yeah,
couple of things.
I don't think like righting the ship isn't necessarily in his scope. It's
No,
trying
it's
to
getting the money.
salvage
It's
the
getting the money. It's getting the debts paid.
assets and
So a couple things that they've been working on is one, apparently they had a $2.6 million house in Martha's Vineyard that's gone. They had a winery in France that's been sold. So they're making moves.
which are under the company,
yeah.
not them.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
All under Uncle Nearest. He has a non-binding letter of intent to sell substantially all assets. It's real estate, holdings firm, the distillery, and he's selling it. Apparently, those letter of intent is by an African American owned investment firm. For this to happen, a federal judge would have to approve it first. But it sounds like he's trying and working towards trying to get this sold. We'll talk a little bit. Like at the end of the day, I really hope the brand lives on. I have had a few of their whiskeys, and I do really enjoy their whiskeys. I love the story and everything behind them. So I hope the brand can live on and they can move on from bad ownership. And yeah, the quote that you're talking about from the receiver about dealing with the Weavers as well. The decision was not made lightly. It has resulted in significantly less confusion among employees, vendors, and has made business operations significantly smoother.
Yeah.
They just had every quarter they have to file with the courts. They submitted a 19-page court filing and said that the last quarter had been exceedingly challenged because of excessive litigation and, to a lesser extent, recent government investigations that consumed time and resources from the receivership. Moreover, the receiver has had to navigate a significant shift in the company's distributor network amidst a contentious receivership action, aka probably getting into it at times with the Weavers, and against the backdrop of a plummeting worldwide spirits market. So it's not like, I mean, if this would have happened 7 years ago, they'd have no problem turning this over and getting money made for it. But as of now, the Weavers have been officially removed from the company. Hopefully, this non-binding letter of intent to sell almost everything to an African-American owned investment firm can happen, and then hopefully they continue to run it, because I've only had a few. Gold Eagle Jake, I'm guessing you've had more probably than I have, but I've always enjoyed the Uncle Nearest whiskey that I've had. I've never really had a whiskey from them that I've thought, man, this isn't very good.
Yeah, I think everything I've tried has been good, and I don't think anything really falls into like the absolutely spectacular have to have it category. But all across the board, they have good whiskeys, and I've had a few like barrel proof single barrels that were really good. But the brand was consistently on the rise from my point of view until all this news broke. Maybe a year and a half ago,
a little over a year ago.
Kind of first started coming out. Like they were coming out with new things. They kept getting expanded distribution. They had, they opened that massive bar that created a ton of excitement. And that was like right before all the shit went down. And I don't think any of us want to see a brand like this go through all of this, but hiding $20 million from all of your investors into a different secret account, and
When
that's
you're not
just
paying
one
your
thing.
bills.
Yeah, when you're not paying your
or
bills. And-
taxes.
Yeah, yeah.
right.
It's like,
And that's just one thing that they found and caught. Like, it just makes you think what else was going on that they weren't being transparent about, what else was going on behind the scenes. So I'm sure I feel like every time news breaks, it's like, oh my God, this is worse than we thought. Oh my God, this is even worse than we thought. And it just keeps continually getting worse. And there's probably a lot more that still hasn't been discovered. But I do feel like now that the Weavers are out of the picture, they're going to start uncovering a lot of things. And hopefully the lies and the fraud will end there. And maybe there's some kind of way to repair some of this at least so that the brand can live on.
yeah, it seems like there was at least a lot of misrepresentation of the company from the Weavers. Like, she was claiming publicly that it was worth $1 billion and things like that, which, like, from the sales figures that have been released, there's like absolutely no way. So
Yeah. Publicly,
yeah.
they always inflated numbers. We'll find out here in the future if they were doing the same on the books as well, or if they were just talking big game to try and build brand and hype.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that's also noted in the article is that they never even kept a full list of investors. So yeah, to me it seems like maybe a mix of incompetence and trying to cover up that incompetence, because it seems like they did not fully understand how to run a business of that scale.
I don't agree on that. I
think
a lot of
maybe
this-
bourbon, maybe whiskey, they didn't. And then you go ahead, Dan.
No, I was just gonna say, with one of the big things is they didn't pay taxes. Anyone that's had a job ever knows you have to pay taxes.
No, yeah. But I mean, I'm being slightly charitable.
Slightly is an overstatement, but okay.
But like, once you get to, I mean, what was their? Do you remember offhand what their like peak sales were? It was like, it was under 100 million, but it was like tens of millions, right? Or no, I can't remember.
Annual?
Yeah, annual sales. I mean, it was not like anything to, scoff at. It was like they were doing like pretty well.
Approximately 100 million for their peak annual revenue.
Yeah, so like that's a pretty decent mid-sized company kind of like infrastructure required to run. Like, I don't know what they, obviously, like, we don't know all the details about like the operations of the company, but if they were just trying to act like they were in charge of everything and like the buck, on everything stopped with them, like I could easily see things like taxes and other things just falling through the cracks if their focus was on the marketing and the promotion of the story and all that kind of stuff.
1000% disagree. They knew exactly.
So you think they're crooks?
I think so, yeah. She was a consultant for large businesses before she started on the news.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, then yeah, probably crooks.
Well, yeah, but also didn't she had some other
She's a real
failed
estate
ventures
person
too.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. You you have to pay bills and pay back your lenders.
No.
You
Yeah,
don't
that's
go
not
and
what I
buy a
was saying.
$2.6 million house in Martha's Vineyard for your distillery.
It grew.
You
This
could
business
make
definitely
bad
probably
business
grew.
decisions without understanding the repercussions. And now, knowing a little bit more about the background, I don't think that's the case. But
You're
Yeah.
1000% wrong on that.
This business
no,
grew
now I am
quicker
agreeing with you.
than they
but
thought.
I'm saying that, like, if you were someone who didn't know how to run $100 million company, and you said, well, instead of doing this, how about we invest that money back into more stock or more whatever.
When you have $100 million company, you can afford to hire yourself good accountants that can
Not
handle
if you're-
all that for you.
Not if you're an idiot. I'm just saying, like,
You can afford
guess
it, doesn't mean you're going to do it.
right. I mean, they grew super fast too. It wasn't like, they've
Yeah.
been developing this brand for like 30 years and built
No.
up a whole operation.
That started
this
in
was over
2016, and they're nationwide, basically.
Yeah, I
so
mean-
like it's not like. Let me just restate that I think you're right, Dan. Knowing that she does have a strong business background, I think they're probably trying to run a scam. But like, I don't know. If I were being
It's-
charitable and didn't know that she was a consultant, I would say maybe this was it ran away from them real quick. But yeah, that's probably not the case.
Yeah, it's a really difficult business. You growing that fast in this business is really easy to kind of level off or go into a big decline, especially because they expanded to so many states so quickly, and a lot of that revenue is distributors buying the bottles from you, and then if the distributors can't move the bottles off the shelf, that revenue stops.
Yeah.
They're holding a lot of inventory in their warehouses, and as soon as they feel like they don't want to put in another order or orders, bottles aren't flying off the shelves, bottles aren't selling at all off the shelves, you are out of a ton of revenue. And in the meantime, you probably bought a ton of barrels and expanded your entire business because you see, oh, we're doing all this revenue, it's time to expand and get more whiskey ready. But then when it doesn't pull through and sell, you're screwed. And that's why that's just one reason why this business is so hard, and why I think if you don't know what you're doing in the bourbon business, she could have all the experience in other businesses, but if she wasn't ready to run a bourbon business at this scale, it's really easy to fail.
Yeah, the logistics on this are extremely difficult in anything in the alcohol industry, especially one where if you're in a distillery where you're actually doing everything, you're having to forecast 10 years down the road every year.
Yeah, I mean, you're
And-
probably
and it-
on at least a 5-year planning cycle,
Yeah.
if not longer.
Yeah. So the logistical side, I can understand. The not paying bills and taxes side, that's business 101.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this was, yeah, I hope the brand lives on. I like the brand. I like everything behind the brand. I mean, they even did a lot for black communities and black businesses and things, which is the whole thing behind Uncle Nearest and Nearest Green. So hopefully that can live on, because they were doing a lot of good things there as well. But hopefully, I would like to see it. The last thing I want to see is a good name and a good brand go under because of a bad owner. Hopefully they sell it to someone good if they can. Because if they don't sell it, it's Chapter 11.
Well, so in the article it says that part of the negotiations with that group may include filing Chapter 11 to just wipe everything out, which would include the Weaver's stake in the company, which probably is looking favorable at this point. So I don't know. We'll see.
It's interesting. I'm sure there's going to be more development, but I'm sure there's going to be some fireworks yet. Because this came out not just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
It was backdated to them being not part of the company to June 1st. I haven't seen that they've made a public statement since then, so there could still be fireworks or other things.
The
but
Weavers are supposedly under a gag order, so they're not really
That'd be a
allowed to
good
talk
thing.
about it. But
that'd be good.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think the Weavers did say though that they're looking at suing their former, I think it's CFO. If I can find his name. But saying that basically all of this is his fault because he was the one in charge of finances. But Young, the receiver, is now saying that he's actually considering litigation against not only the Weavers, but the former CFO and the creditor that gave them the like $100 million loan for like financial neglect. So like there's probably a lot more fireworks that are coming because it sounds like there's plenty of blame to potentially go around.
Yep. Yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on it, but that's kind of been a fun story to see over the last year and a half what's all been going on. But it'd been quiet for quite a while on the front. And this article just came out the other day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sounds like we'll get a quarterly update for possibly the next few years. As this continues to get hashed out. So,
All right. So, question for you guys then. You're at a bar. You see something beautiful. You like the way it smells. You like the way it tastes. You like the way it goes down. What are you looking for when you take something home, boys? Bourbon. Bourbon. We're talking about a bottle of bourbon. Sorry if that was confusing to any other reason.
Why would it be? This is Bourbon Matters podcast.
Exactly.
have you been thinking about that the whole episode?
No, a little bit. I was going to say a little bit. You know, I'm always looking to transition very well into something, and I thought that would come through. I made up a lot of that on the fly, but the idea was there.
It was good.
I was happy with it. I mean, we've talked about whiskeys we like and we don't like, and we disagree on if something is good or not based off our own palates. We've all drank lots and lots of different whiskeys. If you were going to be like Buffalo Trace and create your perfect bourbon, another smooth one there. What would your perfect bourbon be? What's it going to be on the nose for you guys?
So the nose always gives me a hard time because I can have all kinds of trouble smelling depending on what season it is.
Or depending on how far off you are, and then you blame it on your nose not being good.
Yes, exactly.
However, if you're somewhat close, then you're like, yeah, I knew it. I'm so good at this.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's strong noses.
Great description word. Strong.
Well, like
You like your
I have
finish
to actually
smooth?
be able to smell it. Like it has to be like a robust nose, and like I don't necessarily care about the like normal, like the like vanilla and the like whatever kind of like notes. I like interesting notes that like are surprising. That's kind of what I look for.
Very descriptive. 10 out of 10.
I mean, honestly, good answer, because the nose is one of those things where I feel like anytime I'm tasting whiskey with people, someone's always like, oh, this has a phenomenal nose. And nobody ever asks, like, why do you think this has a good nose? Or like, what are you smelling? Nobody ever challenges that. Like, people just either it's a good or it's not good. And for me, like, I'm so more into the palate and the finish than the nose. I honestly could care less about the nose. But I do also have that feeling where sometimes I go in, because I'm always, you do always nose. That's the first thing that you do when you go in to taste a new whiskey. And I'm like, oh, okay, like there's not really a lot there, or oh, okay, that's a really good nose, and like nobody ever thinks why or like challenges why it's a good nose. And either it's a good nose or it's a bad nose, and I can keep going on that, and I have one more thing to say, but I want to hear Dan's take on what he thinks
Yeah,
of the
so
nose.
I'll be a little more descriptive. I actually really appreciate a good nose, especially since smell is like 80% of taste or something like that.
Yeah, it's a significant part.
Yeah, so um, for me, when like Jake, what you were just saying with a good nose versus a bad nose is ethanol. Like if it smells straight corn alcohol, like I'm at an ethanol plant, no, I don't want strong ethanol. I don't want to be punched in the face by the alcohol smell. It doesn't mean it can't be high proof. It's just that can't be the first thing I notice. We've all done that where we've put our nose a little too deep into a glass and gotten a massive waft of corn ethanol, and that will immediately turn me off. Um, I don't like. Also, like I'm pretty open on a good nose. The bad nose, I don't want to have ethanol. I don't want to have it be tailsy, so I don't want to have kind of that stale, wet cardboard smell in it either. If anything, I'd appreciate a little bit earlier cut and a little bit of heads, and I'll talk about that when I get to palate. I don't want to be overwhelmed with ethanol. I want it to stand out and have the normal flavors we're used to. Either going to be the vanilla, the caramel, um, even a little bit of the red hot candy, the cinnamon. I'll take a little bit of that in the nose. A little bit of the green apple, a little bit of a fruity nose. I don't like the floral style noses either, but that's kind of where I like to. That's what I would consider a good nose for me, is it doesn't have any of those negatives.
So you like really, really clean notes.
I like smooth notes. I'm just going to use smooth
Yeah.
as my descriptor word for everything. Yes.
That's fine.
Okay.
Such a distiller's answer.
Oh, I
Yeah,
did it for
like-
a little bit.
I know.
I had to know how to explain that to Rob when he made me do cuts all the time of why I made my cut here, so I had to learn how to use those words. Cheers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not looking for anything specific. If I have to like really dig my nose in there to smell something, to me, it's not as good of something where if I can just waft it around and it's like, I don't really care what the flavors are as long as it's not ethanol. If they're popping out of the glass and I'm able to, waft it back and forth and smell a good smell, then that's a good nose for me. Been on so many barrel picks where people just focus on the nose and spend too much time on the nose. Meanwhile, I'm already tasting them through a couple times, and almost every single time, whatever the group says the best nose is does not translate to the palate. And I'm not picking a barrel to smell it. I'm picking a barrel to taste it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like the I think rarely, if you have two very, very similar whiskeys, maybe the nose is a tiebreaker, but like almost never for me. Like palate and finish are like way, way more important in my opinion.
On the flavor of the whiskey, yeah.
And
I hate the people that'll spend like 30 minutes trying to pick out, like, oh, is this like
Candy
plum,
corn?
or is this like apricot or
wait,
date
I'm
or
smelling
fig?
something. I'm smelling something.
Yeah, like don't give me none of that shit.
Sandalwood?
I still have no. I'm 42 years old. I still have no idea what the fuck sandalwood is. I know it's on every single scent that's sold to a guy. Still don't know what sandalwood. When I
It's
hear
not real.
sandalwood, I think of my old crappy Birkenstocks that are been worn to hell. Yeah, I don't. Like I said, when I gave you my notes for what I like for nose, I gave you what I don't like to smell in terms of like generalities. Like I'm not going to sit there and pick for a million different things of what I prefer,
Yeah.
what I want to smell like, and I don't think it's worth spending more than a minute or two on any of these trying to pick out the flavors you're getting. If you get a flavor right away, or it comes to you a little bit later, that's great. Don't sit there and spend 10 minutes trying to pick out one exact flavor.
Yeah,
Like, it's dumb.
agreed.
I mean, I know people who are, who love the nose and spend more time on appreciating it and smelling it while it's in their glass, but not for a barrel pick. And if you
I
want to talk,
appreciate a good nose.
yeah,
I know I've told this story before, but like the first time I was ever blown away by a nose was when I was with Roberto at Consume, and the first time we had the Pappy pours come out. Like, they brought us out a like nice serving tray with a couple different Pappies on it. They set it down, and it's the first time like I was sitting at the table, the glass wasn't by me, and I could like have this wonderful aroma in my nose. And I'm like, I really enjoy this. I didn't sit there and try and figure out exactly what the aroma was. I just knew it was fantastic.
yeah. I think Armagnac has ruined my nose for whiskey because there's just so much more complexity and
Oh yeah.
better smells in a good old dusty Armagnac than there is a whiskey.
Does that mean you might like a little bit more of the fruity notes of a whiskey?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to describe, but yeah, fruity or like just robust, or like I said earlier, like just when the flavors just can pop out of the glass. Like, I don't need to stick my whole nose in there. I can just go to smell it, and instantly I'm like, oh, okay, there's something going on here. This isn't a basic whiskey. There's a bit of complexity here. There's some different flavors, and yeah, the flavors are just popping right out of the glass.
Yeah.
Palate. What are you guys liking to pick up on a palate?
You start
Something
with palate.
smooth.
Yeah,
I like
go
something
for it.
smooth on the palate. If I were to pick like the exact flavors I want, I'm usually a little bit better with this palate. I'm probably
Same.
a little more unique in the fact that I like a little bit headzier side, and I like the green apple notes a little bit headzier, a little bit younger.
Like that Bowman single barrel.
The Bowman single barrel, the old pepper pepper barrel strength before
Yeah.
it was the decanter bottles. I actually don't mind a little bit younger to get a little bit of that fruitiness out of it. Obviously, yeah. The notes I don't like again are more important to me. If we're talking bourbon, if it's got a lot of rye in it, though, I don't like any dill note. I'm not a tobacco. I don't like it if it has any tobacco flavors into it. I do not like port finishes, just because of the bitiness of it, I would say. I like a lot of wheated, but honestly, I prefer high rye bourbons, just because it does have a little bit more pop on the palate, a little bit more spice note on the palate. But it depends on the mood too. It's like if I just want to have a relax and just have a light whiskey, or what I consider a light whiskey, something that's lower proof, like I'm perfectly fine with a wheater. So.
Yeah, for me, I think time and place for any different flavor notes. Like, sometimes I want something fruity and light. Sometimes I want something oaky. I tend to not like things that are like too tanniny. For me, it's just more about complexity, viscosity, body, that I look for. I don't like things that are one noted. I want to taste different things. So I think it's less about a specific flavor profile. Although if I had to pick, it would be like a bold, oaky, kind of darker and more robust bourbon.
It's like Elijah Craig 18 year.
No. I didn't say watered down oak. I said robust, good viscosity.
I
Big
think that's
body.
an important thing that a lot of people don't account into factor is mouthfeel.
Yeah,
I
mouthfeel
don't-
to me
Yeah,
is
yeah.
more important than what flavor I'm getting, because
Yes.
depending on my mood, I'm going to want a different flavor.
Yeah. I don't want some thin, watery, runny whiskey. Give me. I love cold chill filtered. Like, some people are like, oh, I hate seeing flecks of barrel, or I hate when I'm done, when I leave a tiny little bit of whiskey in my glass before I go to bed, and I wake up and it's kind of all crusty at the bottom. Perfect. Give me something a little bit more viscous, like a girthy whiskey. Some might say. No.
No,
Okay.
I don't think any say that.
Just
Haven't heard
Nora
that
said
before.
that. Don't know why that stuck in my head for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, for me, I think I'm definitely agree on the mouthfeel. I think it's super important. I gravitate more like I think similar opinion to Jake, where sometimes different moods will strike me, but if I don't know what I want, I'm gonna go with something super oaky with like tobacco notes and like those like darker, like stone fruity kind of notes. That's what I like. Tannins don't bother me at all.
Are you a dry wine drinker? Or like a
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, I like dry red wine.
Jake, Gold Eagle Jake, what do you
Dry.
drink? What do you like?
Dry red wine, but I don't want that. I don't want like dried oak in my bourbon.
I'm more of a Pinot Noir guy for.
Doesn't bother me. But
I'm more of a Pinot Noir guy for red, which probably
I've-
why I like.
Noticed
I like
lately,
Pinot Noir, though, but
yeah, I like all wine. Cab is probably my go-to, just like a dry, bold Napa cab. But I've noticed lately that I don't care as much for French oak.
I do not really care for French oak. There are some that have surprised me, but in general, I don't like a certain note that comes out of French oak, and I don't know what it is, but I just don't like it, and I can usually
It's that
pick it
like
up
drying,
like right away.
The
it's that
tannic.
drying tannin.
That's not it for me. It's like an actual
It is,
like
though.
flavor for me.
But that's why
I
the
get the
dark
same.
arts,
It's the dark arts French oak.
the dark arts Jupilis Fleur French oak is so good is because it's French oak that's like 40% more expensive than any other type of French oak, and it doesn't give you that drying tannin flavor, but still gives you the other effects of French oak. I like
I can't
that.
stand port. I can't stand port. French oaks,
Yeah.
and like a good last barrel pick was beautiful in the dam, but French oaks are very
That-
hit or
I mean-
miss for me. I either love it or I hate it.
That you don't
Port,
get
I
any of
just
that drying tannin flavor on that beautiful in the dam.
Maybe they use some of that special Fleur de Elise wood or whatever you
I
were
think-
just talking about.
I think because it was a younger whiskey that went into the French oak, that you just get so much fruit from the whiskey that complements well.
Thanks for getting me there, Jake. Thanks for that little laugh. Made me feel good. Gold Eagle Jake missed it.
No.
It's like the only French word I know besides croissant.
Yeah, like, there's French oak really bothers me. Not all, but a lot of weeded bourbons bother me, and 4 grains bother me. There are, again, like, there's been some 4 grains that really surprise me, but a lot of them have some like really off-putting note in them that I like really don't like.
So we can leave you behind for the Maker's Mark pick. God, I
No,
so want to push
this is-
everyone that
Weeded
comes.
and French oak.
That I want to push everyone so hard at the Maker's Barrel pick that comes with us to do all French oak staves just to piss you right the fuck off.
Well, so Makers is one of the
no,
weeded.
exception to the rule because they're letting us do a barrel pick.
No, and I would not have agreed to Makers if I didn't like Makers. Like, they're one of the weeded bourbons that I do like, along with the Weller line.
Tater.
But a lot of, but regular Makers sucks, and I will stand by that forever.
I
Regular
love
Makers
regular
is
makers.
dog
Same
shit,
there,
and I
same
hate
there,
it.
bud.
I love
Every
regular
other
90
SKU
proof
that Makers puts out is good. Every other SKU.
Anytime I'm at a bar that doesn't have a big bourbon selection, it's just regular Makers for me. A wedding, podunk
can't even
bar,
do it.
just take some regular Makers. I'm happy.
At my parents' golf club, they can order barrel aged old fashions or Manhattans, like around Christmas. And my dad got the old fashions last year. I took a sip of it and I like almost spit it out. I was like, "What is this?" He was like, "It's Maker's Mark." I was like, "Oh, that's it."
Just because you're a pretentious twat.
No, it's just not good. I just don't like it. There's something about whatever. Is it 90 proof?
Mm-hmm.
Like when it's at 90 proof, there's like some flavor that I just hate that comes through. But when it's at like 100 or like barrel strength, it's great.
Kyle, can you clip this and send it to Maker's Mark the day before we do our barrel pick and make sure they know that it's him?
I talked to the rep about this at the birthday bash.
Right when we all sit
to his
down.
face.
Thanks, Kyle.
I was like, I hate regular Maker's Mark, but everything else is awesome.
Just that section right there. I hate regular Maker's Mark. Just clip that. And we'll make sure to play that over and over at the barrel pick.
Good thing we're not picking a barrel of regular Maker's Mark.
I mean, we technically are.
We're not at all.
At cash strength.
We're not really technically picking
staves.
barrel makers. We're picking what staves we want to go in it. So,
we're blending.
Yeah.
Finishes.
I do not like sweet finishes with bourbon.
Man,
Perfect.
you're
Bourbon's
picky.
not sweet at all. Yeah.
I do not like over sweetening bourbon with another sweet finish. Like rum finished bourbon, I don't care for.
Incorrect.
I see 3 of them behind you.
Yeah.
Rum finished bourbon?
I'm just kidding.
No.
I remember one that you had to have.
Which one?
The Basil Hayden rum finished bourbon.
Isn't that a rum finished rye?
Rye.
Oh. Was
It's
it?
a rye.
That's why it was bourbon.
That's why it's
No,
so
they did
good.
that. They did that. They don't make that anymore, I don't think.
No,
but
No, they don't.
yeah,
I found like a couple really old bottles once, and
But they also
I still
blend-
have it buried
they-
in the back of my shelf. And I
Yeah,
don't
they
know what
also
I'm gonna
blended
do with
in a
it.
little bit of rum too, so it wasn't just a finished. It was pretty rummy.
Yeah, the Caribbean Reserve. That's right, the Caribbean
Mhm.
Reserve rye. Yep.
Yeah,
You can still buy it online.
the only thing that does pair well with bourbon is maple syrup.
That's the only thing that pairs well with bourbon. Yeah, you're right.
From my
Yep.
perspective, the only sweet finish that goes particularly well with bourbon is maple syrup.
We're
I
talking
think it
about
complements
the
it a
finish of sipping a bourbon.
Oh, I thought you were talking about finishes. Like,
No,
No, we're talking about just finishes in general. After we just specifically talked about nose and palate
but it's
bourbon.
good content. It's good.
you were
content.
talking about port and shit, so I thought you were asking about like barrel finishes. Okay, sorry, my bad.
No, it's all right. It's
Dan,
good
what do you
content.
prefer in a bourbon's finish?
Big things for me. Again, I don't want the ethanol screaming at me. I want something that lingers for around a minute after you've had it, but like not like it's burning in the back of your throat. Like I just want to know that it's there. That nice little warm reminder that I just had something. And the thing is, like, some people relate that, well, it's got to be high proof. It doesn't. You can find 90 proof bourbons out there that'll stick around. I just want something that carries the same flavor notes and just lingers around for a minute or so after. I don't want to be sitting there tasting it 5 minutes after I've had it. I don't want to burp the bourbon that I had back up. Like I just want something to sit down low, not be overpowered by ethanol, just be nice and complimentary to what it was. It's got to stick around a little bit though. If I finish, and I think this has a lot to do with what we talked about with mouthfeel.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
That's what I was gonna say.
If I drink a bourbon and 3 seconds after I finish that bourbon, I don't know that I just drank bourbon. That's not a good bourbon. That's not a good finish for me. I want something that sticks and lingers, but it's not that huge, drying, make you cough in your throat afterwards, which some people equate to smoothness. Um, but it's not really smooth because I want a little bit of that graveliness to it. So
I got one word, and it's long.
not the first time you've said that, huh, Jake?
I want a long finish.
You want something long? We got it, Jake.
Yeah.
You want a real long.
I want something complex on the palate. I want a lot of flavors on the palate, but for the finish, I want it to stick around for as long as possible. For me, I feel like I'm getting the best value out of the whiskey when I can taste it for a minute or two, maybe 3 minutes before I need to go back to it. If it just disappears right away, I need to go back, take another sip. For me, it's not as good of a value as a long finish. And I talk about this when we do the high roller blinds and try to incentivize people to focus on the finish. Look for something that has a lot of complexity on the back end. And it's not with those tastings more so, but with other tastings. Occasionally I'll hear people say, oh, I didn't really like this one because it just wouldn't go away. I kept tasting it. And it's always somebody who's like a super novice. And then in my head, like, I'm thinking, okay, well, you're not wrong because what you like is what you like. But like, don't you want, like, you're here to taste whiskey. Don't you want to keep tasting it? Like, you just want it to be flavorless and go away?
I'm sorry, your value proposition thing made me laugh a little bit because it made me think of a buddy in college who was a buddy of mine since grade school. Whenever we went, like, you want to finish, like, my buddy would play songs at the jukebox at the bar. He wanted something that was going to get his value out of it.
Like Freebird?
No, worse. OAR Crazy Game of Poker live version was 21 minutes long. He would play that every time we went to the bar. He's like, I'm getting my money's worth out of it. And that's what you just said made me think of was Paul playing Crazy Game of Poker live version.
But it's not
21
only
minutes out of this quarter.
Yeah, I don't know, it's not only about getting the money out of it. It's just, I don't want to keep grabbing my glass, grabbing my bottle, and plowing through it. Like, I want to enjoy what I'm sipping on and just have it last a little bit longer.
Hey, but some nights we do just want to keep grabbing glass after glass and plow through. We've all had those days.
You can still do that,
but I mean,
enjoy the finish. I'm not ripping shots. Like today, I went out to watch
I'm
the
not
World
talking
Cup
shots.
game.
I'm just talking like drinking full Glencairns of whiskey.
Today, I went out to watch the World
Podcast.
Cup game, and there were people taking shots of Basil Hayden.
It's an easy shot.
yeah.
It's like a lemon drop.
But like,
Also,
why?
like, what does that cost?
Yeah, and why? Like,
Yeah.
if you can't sit Basil Hayden. If I'm taking a shot, I'm gonna do like Jameson or some. Yeah,
Jameson, I
Prime
guarantee, is 10x cheaper than Basil Hayden.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of shots, I did do a shot of Malort out here because I was at a bar with a friend who had no idea what Malort was. So I'm like, you need to do a
Malort,
shot of
but you don't
Malort.
get like any other whiskey. Like, what the fuck is going on out there?
No, like we were at a bar. They had Malort. They didn't know what Malort was.
I know, but why
So
do
I'm
they
like,
have Malort? But you
I
can't get
don't-
like standard bottles of whiskey.
I
That's
don't know.
that's
I
odd.
don't know, but it worked out beautifully because they fell for it. And they're like, this is the worst thing I've ever had. Like, welcome to Chicago.
But you didn't make them do the second and third?
Shot of Malort?
Yeah.
No.
I thought you have to do 3 shots in a row, and the third one is what turns you into a believer.
I do as very minimum amount of Malort as I can.
Oh, I've never had it. So the myth is that you do 3 shots in a row, and then you love Malort.
I'm pretty sure that's how you get Beetlejuice to come.
Probably.
Jake, what do you like for finish? Smooth, oak.
No, I like long finishes. I like a finish that has like a lot of body that I can almost like chew on for a bit. Like I really like that. I don't mind ethanol on the finish as long as it stays like in the back of my mouth and not like burning down into my stomach. Yeah, I particularly like tobacco notes on finishes, and like chocolate on finishes. Those are probably my two favorite kind of flavors.
Nice. Well, I think what we all learned today is the whiskey you like sucks. However, if you want to buy some good whiskey, I know of a great place to buy really good whiskey. If you're in the Chicagoland area, just Google. I'm kidding. Jake,
Or online.
Where can people find good whiskey?
goldeaglewine.com. Even if you're outside the Chicagoland area, we do ship. Free shipping on orders of $500 or more. You can come visit us if you're local in Libertyville at 255 Peterson Road. Either way, make sure you follow us on Instagram at Gold Eagle Wine, no matter where you are. Follow us on Facebook at Gold Eagle Spirits. We are posting every day whatever we get delivered, and everything for the most part is available online. And we appreciate the follow and the support, and promise to keep some good content coming.
Yeah, and if you are in the Chicagoland area and you haven't done a masterclass yet, what the hell is wrong with you? Go do a masterclass. They're fun. They're cheap. Value proposition. You get to try 7 whiskeys. You get pizza. You get fruit or cheese and cracker trays and water and sometimes swag for $25. So if you haven't done a masterclass, go do a masterclass. You definitely won't be upset.
I brought a couple Italians from work to the one last night, and they loved it.
Nice.
One of them tried the barrel pick at the end, and he was taking notes, like in starring the ones that he really liked. That one he just wrote no.
The highest proof.
I think that was 128 proof. They're used to drinking like 12% wine, like maybe. So yeah.
All right, Jake, if people want to see some of our other episodes, see some of the previous stuff we've talked about with Uncle Nearest or other things, where can they follow us at?
You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or pretty much any other podcast platform. If you want to listen, if you want to watch us, you can watch on Spotify and YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the show with your friends, leave comments. Shout out to Kyle, social media manager, for engaging the fan base on Instagram and Facebook. I'm usually answering the comments on YouTube and Spotify.
You don't have to give Kyle shout outs. It's his ego too much. All right, guys. Well, that was fun. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.